If there is one thing that I can almost eat every single day, it will be this yummy Christmas cake. And I'm telling you, you guys are going to love this as well. I remember I shared this recipe on my Instagram page and so many of you requested for a video recipe, and here we have it. It's such a perfect cake for this Christmas season. The family is gonna love this. It's filled with nuts, fruits and spices that give it a lot of flavor, and the good thing is it's such a simple cake to make. So collect all the ingredients I've listed in the description box down below and let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to add our dry fruits in a pan. I'm using 100 grams each of dry black and yellow raisins. I'm also using 100 grams of dates. So these dates, I've already removed the seeds. I'm just going ahead to chop them into smaller pieces, and then once you're done, you're going to add them to your pan. So for this Christmas cake, you can just use any dried fruits that you can get. There's quite a variety out there, so just make use of them. So once that is in the pan, we are going to add some fresh orange juice and some orange zest. So you'll just take one orange and then you're going to zest it, and then you're going to add that zest to your pan. Once you're done, the same orange that you zested, you are going to juice it. You will need about half a cup of orange juice, so I'm just going ahead to juice at least 2 oranges. That will give me about half a cup of the fresh orange juice. So once you're done juicing that, you'll go ahead and add it to your pan. Next, you're going to add a tablespoon of honey. I'm also going ahead to add 3/4 cups of margarine. You can use butter if you have. I've also added 3/4 cups of brown sugar. You can use granulated sugar as well. So you'll just put your pan over medium heat, and then we're just going to heat this for about 5 minutes. So we're not going to actually like boil this. We just want to dissolve the sugar and then just melt the butter. So this may take about 5 minutes, so make sure you're turning it so that it doesn't burn at the bottom. And then once you're done, you're going to remove it from the heat. We're going to set this aside and let it cool completely. You'll add this to a small bowl or a plate like this, and then you're going to let it cool completely. Or to make this process very fast, just put it in your freezer. It may take about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to cool down. So as that is cooling down, let's quickly mix our dry ingredients. So you're going to sieve 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I've also added 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, half a teaspoon of ginger powder, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and half a teaspoon of salt. So just going ahead to sieve that, and once you're done, just take your whisk, mix that well, and then just place that aside for later. Next, you're going to crack 3 eggs in your bowl. You'll follow that with 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Just take your whisk and then you're going to beat this for about a minute or 2 or until it is well combined. Now we will add our fruits. This has cooled completely, that's why it's looking like a paste. So slowly add it to your bowl, and then you're just going to mix everything together until it is well combined. Now we're going in with our dry ingredients. So just using a spatula, fold it in the batter until it is well combined. Don't over mix it. This should take about a minute or 2. So for the nuts that I'm using is this walnuts. So I'm using 100 grams of walnuts as well. I'm just going ahead to chop that into smaller pieces before we add it to our butter. So for this recipe you can use any nut that you like. So once you're done chopping that, add it to your butter, and then you're going to continue mixing that until well combined. It should take about just a minute. So this is ready, and now we're going to transfer it to our baking tin. So now I'm just greasing my baking tin. This is just to avoid the cake sticking to my tin, and then once I'm done, I'm just going to slowly add the butter. You can also bake this in a loaf pan. This recipe also comes well as a loaf cake, so you can just go ahead and try that if you want. So once you're done pouring that butter in the tin, you're going to make sure that you've spread it all sides. So this is a very dense cake, and as you can see, the butter is also very dense, so make sure that you spread it on all sides. So I've preheated my oven at 140 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to bake this for 1 hour 20 minutes or until it's done. So in the meantime, while that is baking, let's quickly make our syrup that we will use for our cake later. So for the syrup, we'll just need a 1/4 cup of fresh orange juice. You'll also need 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar. So you're just going ahead to add everything in your pan, and then you're going to heat this until it reduces to a nice syrup like this. This may take about 5 minutes. So you're just going to transfer it to a small bowl, set that aside for later, and now let's quickly check our cake. And our cake is ready, and you'll know it's ready once you insert a toothpick at the center and it comes out clean. So you'll remove it from the baking pan, and then we are going to add the syrup that we made earlier. So just turn it, and then you're going to add the syrup on the top side of the cake. So the syrup helps the cake to be super moist, and I would also recommend that you don't serve the cake once you've baked it. Just leave it to rest for at least 12 hours or until overnight, just in the fridge. That will help the cake be super moist, acquire all the flavors, and you will just love it. So once you've already applied the syrup, put it in the fridge and then serve it the next day. So before you serve it, you can top it with some fresh fruits. I'm using here some purple grapes and some fresh rosemary leaves. You can decorate it with whatever you like. So go ahead, serve this. Everyone is gonna love this. And as usual, if you make it, don't forget to tell me how yours came out in the comment section down below. And that's what I'm making today, guys. I hope you bake this Christmas season. I hope you enjoy, and see you on my next one, guys. Bye.